This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch on this Friday, August 22nd. I'm Erin Graham. We're going to begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu approved I.D.F. plans to capture Hamas's major stronghold of Gaza City Thursday. As Chris Mitchell now reports from Gaza, CBN News also got an exclusive look at one organization on the front lines feeding the people of Gaza.
Netanyahu met with the I.D.F. Chief of Staff and Defense Minister.
We are in the decision-making phase. I arrived in the Gaza division today to approve the plans that the I.D.F. presented to me and the Minister of Defense for taking over Gaza City and defeating Hamas. At the same time, I have instructed to begin immediate negotiations for the release of all of our hostages and an end to the war on terms acceptable to Israel. These two things, defeating Hamas and releasing all of our hostages, go hand in hand.
In response to charges of genocide against the people of Gaza, Israel argues that it makes efforts to protect civilians in its war against Hamas. On the eve of the military operation, the I.D.F. released this audio of an Israeli officer calling medical officials inside Gaza City to arrange safe passage for the sick and wounded to southern Gaza. He says this requires you to prepare a plan to transfer the medical equipment from north to south so that you will be able to provide treatment for all the patients in the southern strip and prepare the hospitals to receive the patients coming from the north. Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee on X slammed a new report that's declaring a famine in Gaza. You know who is starving? The hostages kidnapped and tortured by uncivilized Hamas savages. Maybe the overfed terrorists could share some of their warehouse full they stole with hungry people, especially the hostages. CBN News got a first-hand look at one organization providing food directly to the people of Gaza. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has distributed about 130 million meals in just about 3 months under some of the most challenging conditions to distribute humanitarian aid.
We'll hit probably 131, 132 today. And, you know, our sites are safe and we're looking to scale so we can feed more people.
GHF spokesman Chapin Fay tells CBN News the foundation provides an alternative to other aid distribution that's been stolen by Hamas.
You see Hamas riding around with armed men, stealing the aid and taking it. We believe Hamas made $1 billion during this war alone, and that's why we're here. We are doing it in a way, we are feeding people in a way that Hamas or anyone else cannot steal it. We're proud of our record of over 130 million meals delivered.
This woman told us what the aid means to her.
I am safe. I am good. I can eat today. That's me. Thank you for everyone working this project. Thank you for all of one.
GHF says reports of hundreds of people being killed at their distribution sites are untrue.
But as you can see, this is yet another successful distribution. Over the last month, they have been running much more smoothly, much more securely and efficiently and safely. And we plan to get better and better every day and feed more and more people every day.
And our CBN Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell joins us right now with more. So, Chris, what more did you hear at the GHF distribution site?
Well, Ephraim, we heard a lot more about why Hamas and how Hamas is trying to undermine their efforts there at the GHF. They're trying online and they're trying on the ground to thwart these plans because it really represents a threat to the monopoly that Hamas has had since the beginning of the war. And as you heard the spokesman, Chapin Fay say, you know, $1 billion in the last year is what they have been able to sell the aid to. So that really fuels their war effort. Also about the misrepresentations, about the dangers of these sites, wild claims that hundreds of people have been killed near those sites. There's really no video evidence of that that people can prove. So they do maintain safe distribution. That's what I saw yesterday. Also saw grateful Gazans. We talked to more women than we did there in that report. And what they also say is that more aid is the solution. They're trying to work with the UN and other non-governmental organizations to make sure that they can increase that aid to the people of Gaza.
How is the I.D.F. trying to protect the people of Gaza as they plan this military operation against Hamas?
Well, as you heard in that audio recording, the IDF is calling the people of in Gaza City and especially the medical people there. They're doing that, but they're also giving evacuation orders. They're sending text messages, phone calls, leaflets. And as we said, the IDF is arranging, trying to make sure that the sick and wounded are taken care of when they move from the north to the south. They know the IDF is fighting an enemy, the Hamas, that uses their own people as human shields. So they're trying to remove those human shields safely. So as they make this military operation to try to defeat Hamas.
How is Israel responding to the claim of famine in the Gaza Strip?
Well, it's saying that the IPC report that Ambassador Huckabee referred to is based on partial and unreliable sources, many of those sources affiliated with Hamas, and ignores the facts and the extensive humanitarian efforts that Israel has been doing, and also its international partners. They say this report is really riddled with severe methodological flaws, and that this particular organization has been swept away by the false narratives and what they call unfounded propaganda instead of examining the complete data and actually the facts on the ground.
All right, looking ahead to Jerusalem Dateline, what's ahead today?
Well, what we have is a story on Aliyah with Paul Petit. He's our visiting CBN News correspondent, and we'll have more on the Gaza food distribution. We also have a conversation between myself and Paul, talking about his impressions of being down there at David Ben-Gurion Airport, seeing over 225 Olim coming back to Israel, and what an emotional impact they had on him. We also talk with Chaim Mailspin. He's a sergeant major in the IDF, one of the soldiers responsible for destroying Hamas tunnels. We'll talk to him about that. We also have a story with Gary Lane, a report on the persecution of religious minorities in the Middle East. And we also have, Ephraim, a story by CBN Israel helping immigrants from Ukraine and how they are helping them make the adjustment from a war zone to here in Israel and start a new life.
All right, our CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell, thank you for your insights. We appreciate you so much. Looking forward to connecting with you again come next week. I want to let you at home know that you can see Jerusalem Dateline at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can find it on the CBN News channel. You can also watch it on the CBN News app, or you can find it on YouTube. Here's a quick look now at some of the other stories making headlines in the CBN newsroom at this hour. Hurricane Erin is expected to weaken throughout the day as it moves further out to sea, but dangerous rip currents will continue to hit the East Coast. Overnight, the heavy winds from the storm caused 20-feet-high waves in New York. A lifeguard saved a surfer who slammed into rocks due to the surf, while police officers in Maryland helped to push a stalled car out of the water. And the Outer Banks is dealing with flooded homes and roads, including the main highway, which remains closed. Costco is taking a stand to not stock the so-called abortion pill in its more than 500 pharmacies nationwide. The wholesale retailer says there is a lack of demand for mifepristone from its members, but the move comes on the heels of a pressure campaign from faith-based organizations and conservative organizations. These groups hail the decision as a win for life. From marriage to parenting, Dr. James Dobson will be remembered as a champion for Christian family values. He is best known for his long-running radio show, Focus on the Family, and as the founder of the global organization by the same name. Lori Johnson takes a look at the life of this man of God, not afraid to speak biblical truth in secular culture.
Psychologist Dr. James Dobson has been called one of the most influential evangelical leaders of our time, devoting his life and ministry to preserving the family. In 1977, he began the radio program Focus on the Family on 34 Christian stations. It eventually grew to 7,000 stations in 150 countries, and at its peak reached 220 million people each day. Dobson also also wrote numerous bestsellers, including Dare to Discipline and What Wives Wish Their Husbands Knew About Women. He also started the influential Family Research Council and served as an advisor to 5 U.S. presidents, including Ronald Reagan.
He said, I want you to tell me what I can do to strengthen the family. I said, why not a family impact study commission?
After more than 30 years at Focus on the Family, Dobson left in 2009.
There were philosophical differences, and it was obvious that I saw things a little differently than the person who was my successor.
He began a new nationally syndicated show called Family Talk.
You cannot have a strong country without strong families. That's the next generation.
Dobson also brought his family message to the 700 Club many times.
Pat, all of those traditional views are under attack today. And everything that we have believed about the family for thousands of years, literally, is being questioned now and being undermined. And there is a real danger that the family will disintegrate.
Almost every day, things are coming out of Washington that assault righteousness, standards of righteousness, and assault the family.
Dobson also didn't hesitate to wade into culture wars, taking on issues like abortion and gambling.
My heart bleeds for what's happening in my country at this time. Killing 1.5 million unborn children who cannot speak for themselves.
It destroys families. It creates incredible problems with pathological gambling and problem gambling. That just many people who are addicted to this stuff.
And through it all, he stood firmly with the message that Jesus Christ is the answer.
The most important thing is that this country desperately needs a revival, where people would fall on their knees before God in genuine repentance and forgiveness. When you get it right with Him, you tend to have it right with the people around you.
The Republican Party cannot save us. The Democratic Party cannot save us. There is only one answer, and that answer is Jesus Christ. Do you agree?
Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. Liana Werner-Gray is a popular nutritionist involved in the movement to make America healthy again. In her book, The Earth Diet, she also writes about her belief that God provides us with natural foods that can help heal disease. CBN's Kelly Wright sat down with Gray to talk about the new Maha roll and her own medical miracle.
Now is the time to make America healthy again, and we can't make America great again if Americans are not healthy. So our greatest wealth truly is health.
Nutritionist Liana Werner-Gray, best-selling author of The Earth Diet and Cancer-Free with Food, plays an active role in the Maha movement.
In what ways have you been able to help make America healthy again in cooperation with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy?
I'm on the nutrition side of things, and I first met Bobby Kennedy in 2019 at a Truth About Cancer event. So a big part of how I support him and how I help with the Maha movement and HHS is supporting their initiatives, especially through using my platform and promoting what he's putting out, basically. So sharing stuff on social media. And so, for example, was just at the White House in May this year, and we were there when RFK handed the Maha report to Trump, basically saying, here's what our agenda is going to be over the next 4 years.
4 months ago, I created the Presidential Commission to Make America Healthy Again. And
early initiatives focus on ending the use of toxic food dyes and additives to America's food. That can lead to chronic illnesses in both children and adults.
So what's your message to America?
So many Americans are eating fruits and vegetables and grains, thinking that it's healthy. They buy it from the supermarket. But if it's not organic, it has glyphosate, which is a compound that destroys gut health and causes cancer.
Liana is well aware of the negative effects that toxins, such as pesticides, can have on our food. 16 years ago, doctors found a tumor on her neck. They diagnosed it as cancer in her lymphatic system. While surgery was an option, Liana chose instead to follow the advice of her naturopath doctor to focus on diet and improve her nutrition to help fight the cancer. In doing so, she eliminated junk food and developed the Earth Diet, focusing on natural foods free from toxic ingredients. Remarkably, she beat cancer within 3 months.
When I got the tumor, that's when I was like, you know what? Okay, it's time for me to connect with God and pray. I had a ton of parasites in my blood. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue. My blood work was on the verge of leukemia, so my immune system was shot.
What's the takeaway for America? How does MAHA help change the way we've been conducting our dietary lives?
People who thought they were eating healthy, but actually they were consuming all these poisons with their seemingly healthy foods. And then the other part is changing the food system. So cutting things out, and there are thousands of chemicals that are allowed in the foods here that are not allowed anywhere else in any other country. They're not allowed in Australia, they're not allowed in Europe, Canada, the UK, but they are allowed in America. Why are they allowed in America and nowhere else in the world? That's not fair. If we're to be the greatest country in the world, we need to have the healthiest people.
And make our children healthy again.
Kelly Wright, CBN News.
Still ahead, brother and sister duo BB and CC Winans host this year's Stellar Awards. We've got a preview of the event before it heads to your television screen. Stay with us. You're watching CBN NewsWatch. A movie premiere documenting the Christian Revolution sweeping college campuses is getting a boost from a renowned gospel musician. Three-time Grammy Award winner Tasha Cobbs Leonard will perform at the premiere of CBN's newest film, The Revival Generation. That event will be held at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, August 27th. The red carpet premiere will also feature a time of worship and testimony. The film will be available after the premiere on DVD and on streaming platforms like the CBN Family app. The 40th annual Stellar Awards, hosted by brother and sister duo BB and CC Winans, will soon hit your television screens. Several of your favorite artists took home awards, including Pastor Mike Jr., who won all 9 of his nominations. Plus, we're sharing some big news from singer Donnie McClurkin. This and more in this week's Top 5 Stories making headlines in the world of uplifting entertainment.
At number 5. Tell me, what do you do? A major announcement from recording artist and pastor Donnie McClurkin.
We've been working on a brand new musical project, and it's going to be my final recording, entitled Finally. And literally, it is a work of love, saying thank you and farewell to the recording industry, but leaving a mark that will glorify God.
At number 4. Some new faces are added to the wall of television's highest honors.
The Television Academy welcomed 6 new inductees into the TV Hall of Fame over the weekend, including actors Viola Davis, late-night host Conan O'Brien, and actor Henry Winkler.
At number 3.
There's more to life than just making money. It's integrity. That's what you stand for.
What you think? I think you gotta be a little crazy sometimes in this world to get what you want.
Actor Denzel Washington makes a splash in the headlines with his response to questions about cancel culture.
Do you guys consider being quote-unquote canceled?
What does that mean, canceled?
It means you lose public support.
Who cares? What made public support so important to begin with?
I guess because followers now are currency.
I don't care who's following. Okay? You can't lead and follow at the same time, and you can't follow and lead at the same time. I don't follow anybody. I follow the heavenly spirit. I follow God.
Amen.
I don't follow man. I have faith in God. I have hope in man. But look around. It ain't working out so well.
Yeah.
Forget being followed. You can't be canceled if you haven't signed up. Don't sign up. I know what that means, to have nothing and want everything.
What is that? Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
At number 2.
I might be singing about a guitar-playing pickle.
Yeah, guitar playing, pickle picking in a pickle patch with a penguin eating pizza. Wow! Woo! Guitar playing pickle.
It's country music's biggest stage, and Elmo, Abby Cadabby, and Sesame Street helped the Grand Ole Opry to celebrate a musical milestone. Its 100th anniversary.
There's so many great country songs already. Elmo would love to do a duet with Miss Dolly Parton. Yeah, maybe we could do Jolene together. Come on, Dolly, call Elmo. Yeah, or Love is Like a Butterfly.
At number 1, snapshots from the Music City and one of music's biggest nights. It's a celebration with the best in gospel music at the 40th Annual Stellar Awards. At the helm of this year's show is brother and sister duo BB and CeCe Winans. We hit the red carpet before the event.
People haven't seen us together, but he never stopped being my brother. But the joy is seeing the joy of other people seeing us come together. You know,
like our mother.
We knew we had some. Yeah, my mother flew in to see us. My mom, 88 years old, flew in to see us, and I'm like, whoa. So that's pretty special.
The 40th Annual Stellar Awards airs Saturday, August 30th on the Stellar Network. It will also air on Sunday, August 31st on BET. Stellar celebrates 40 years.
40 years.
Why do you think it's lasted?
Well, because the gospel is so very, very necessary. And music is that universal language that allows the message of the gospel to be communicated in a way that even the non-believer can believe it.
All right, stay with us. Your Friday Faithful message is coming up next. We'll be right back. It is time now for your Friday Faithful. I want to leave you with this reminder. In God, there is no failure. He can't lie and he can't fail. I encourage you to rest in this truth. And when you do that, you can move with God knowing you can't fail. He causes all things to work together for your win and in His perfect timing. With that word, make this a fabulous Friday and be sure to have yourself a wonderful weekend. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News channel. You can find them there at any time. You can also find them online at cbnnews.com. We'd love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. We look forward to seeing you right back here, same time come Monday. Goodbye and God bless. Thank you for watching.